All right, folks, buckle up because this one is crazy. It's pretty wild. China has built a replica of Osama bin Laden's compound. You heard that right. Osama bin Laden's compound. The Chinese Communist Party, the masters of bootlegging everything from iPhones to freaking fighter jets, have now decided to recreate the most famous terrorist hideout in modern history. And throw an image up here. But you know what's next, man? A theme park, Jihad World, experience the Navy SEAL Team 6 adventure. But you know, let's get serious for a moment. This isn't just some bizarre flex from the CCP. This is is military training at its core. This is a side by side of Abbottabad, Pakistan, and the compound in China. Okay, you can see the exact resemblance, right? This isn't some weird conspiracy theory, man. You can even go on Google Maps and check it out for yourself. Some online sleuth has pieced this together, and now we have, you know, various military analysts and SOF operators wondering what the hell is China planning. You can put in the coordinates yourself, but you may ask yourself, why would you even want to have the bin Laden compound? So let's break it down. What is the real reason behind something like this? Basically, China has spent years stealing, copying, and reverse engineering U.S. military tech. And guess what? Pakistan helped them, folks, right? You see it here. Pakistan helped them. You remember the stealth Black Hawk that crashed during the bin Laden raid? The U.S. blew it up for the most part, but the wreckage was left there, and some of it survived, like the tail of it. Now, Pakistan, who was all but harboring bin Laden, they were so pissed at the U.S. for violating their sovereignty, you know, by removing the most wanted terrorist on earth, that they let China take a look at the wreckage, photos, materials, everything. And now a decade later, China is sitting here playing pretend Navy SEAL Team 6 with a perfect replica of the bin Laden hideout. You may say, training for what? What are they actually training for? China hasn't been in a real fight for generations. The PLA, People's Liberation of Army, is unproven. Their troops aren't battle tested like the U.S. military forces. You can see some training here. The U.S. military has been fighting for 20 plus years nonstop. They're out here doing kung fu. But if you think training in the fake Abbottabad is going to suddenly turn you into a tier 1 operator, I've got a vegan MRE to sell you, right? But you see, I mean, they're doing kung fu out there. You know, this is the PLA Marine Corps here. But the best guess is that, and here's that I showed this last night, actually, right? Let me turn the volume down. I showed this last night, and this is some CQB stuff. And I try to get someone to write on the wall, figure out what the writing on the wall is. I'm not sure what that junk says. If somebody knows, let me know. But they're doing some CQB stuff here. But they're probably, let me put the image back up here. You know, you got this. They're probably training in helicopter insertions, CQB, or close quarters battles, and hostage rescue drills, basically practicing raids like the one that took out Osama bin Laden. But it raises a lot of questions. Who do they plan on raiding exactly? You know, because let's be honest, it's not just for fun. They're not doing this type of training just for fun. China's real end game is what we believe is war with the U.S. China's been posturing for years. Military expansion, espionage, cyber warfare. Taiwan's looming on the horizon. The real war clock starts in 2027, and every military analyst with a brain knows this. Taiwan will be the flashpoint. If China invades the U.S., China invades Taiwan, the U.S. has to respond. And if that happens, all bets are off, right? We already know China has been infiltrating the U.S., from spying on military bases to outright stealing trade secrets. We had a ton of them come through the southern border. This report came out from the Department of Homeland Security, Threat Snapshot, CCP, repression on U.S. soil is growing. China's threat snapshot reveals 60 plus cases since 2021. They've been embedding operatives on the U.S. soil, thanks to Joe Biden, stealing technology, setting up shot right off our noses. They have balled up land all around military bases. They own the most farmland in the freaking world, right? In the U.S. That is, right? So China's hidden hand in U.S. military training. Let's talk about that, because I actually did a video a while back where I covered a story where Ronan Tactics, you may know him. He's an influencer as well. He does YouTube and Instagram, and he does tactical training, sells products, but he unknowingly trained a Chinese Special Forces operator. Yep. He trained a U.S. Special Forces operator. An elite U.S. military guy trained a Chinese SOF guy without even realizing it. Now, in the video you can watch, I'll put it into this. At the end of this video, you'll see the little thumbnail at the bottom. Just click it. But, you know, you really can't blame Ronan Tactics because they left the border open. This dude had been embedded in, and I'll just give you a little bit of information about it. This dude had embedded himself like he was in high school initially in North Carolina. So he came here for many years. They don't believe he was of high school age when he was attending the high school. He went through all various training packages. Ronan Tactics was not the only one. He went through various training packages from all different guys all around the country, ranging from SOF guys, Marines, you name it. And this guy took it back. And in that video, you're going to see pictures of him with night vision and such in China. So he became an instructor trainer and took that information back. So while China is stealing our tech, they're also learning our tactics straight from the source. You think that's a coincidence? Hell no. Is China ready for a fight is the big question. Do they actually have the stones to go toe-to-toe with the U.S.? The short answer, in my opinion, is not yet. They can copy our compounds, steal our tech, and train with our tactics, but what they don't have is combat experience. We have combat experience for 20 plus years, right, of ongoing missions. You don't become tier 1 by running drills on a fake compound. You do it by actually going to war, right? That doesn't mean that China won't start a fight. In fact, guys, it might make them even more dangerous because desperate nations make reckless moves. If Taiwan happens, it's not going to be some quick and easy fight. It'll be brutal, guys. And if China thinks their AI-controlled drone swarms and stolen tech will win the day, they're in for a rude awakening, okay? Here's some clips of our guys handling some business. Our guys know what they're doing. America has been in constant combat for decades. The Chinese just hasn't. They haven't, guys. They can build all the fake compounds they want because at the end of the day, when the bullets start flying, only one thing matters: who's actually ready for war. I want to know if you think they're ready for war. But I'll give you a hint, man. I don't think it's China. I just don't. But I think they're dumb enough to do it. I think they're desperate enough to do it. It's just my opinion. I hope not. But you never know. Okay. But China isn't just stealing our tech. They're actively preparing for major military conflict. That's the scary thing about all of this. They're actually preparing. This bin Laden compound replica is proof of that they're watching and learning everything we do. So the real question is, how long before they test it out in the real world? Because that could be coming. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but after the Zelensky scolding from Donald Trump, and Donald Trump really did scold the Britain as well, and as well as other people, China reached out to these other countries and said, we don't treat the Europeans in this manner. Do business with us and you won't be, talked to in that way. So they're already, they created BRICS. They had a hand in that. So they're already working against the U.S. and trying to get as many nations to go against us as well, along with BRICS, along with currency. We have the tariff wars going on, all this stuff, right? But I want to know what you think. Is China, do you think China's planning? What do you think they're planning? And if you hadn't already, it's probably important for you to subscribe now, hit the thumbs up and all that stuff, because things are going to get crazier from here. We're going to cover it, guys. And always remember to stay frosty, strapped, and dangerous. Take care.